Sure. All righty. Um, oh boy, I don't know. I think I might want to stop this and try to get anyway. No, it's okay. It's
Let
just the
it
way it's
fly.
gonna be. And I'm gonna pin you so that people will make sure that they see you, Amy,
Okay,
because
perfect.
it's kind of weird when on playback when they cannot see you. And but anyway, so let me start. I'm going to share my screen because I have learned that this might be an easier way to get through this whole little spiel right here. Um, let's go somebody else. Oh, William Nesmith. He just came in. Hi, William. How are you? He's connecting. Okay, so I just want to say I'm Nancy Deckett. I'm the founder and CEO of Discover Sooner. And our mission is to help the next generation of songwriters and artists and producers to meet music professionals like publishers and people like Amy, who are amazing media coaches and music supervisors, and really people who can help your career go to the next level. So that's our mission. Um, in December, we're going to have a pitch to Sharon Clark. So if you want to pitch songs, it's TV and film, sync pitches or country, although it's just mostly, she can probably play any songs, but mostly it's in the country or sync world. And then we're going to have this Christmas party out at 12 Keys, little in Hermitage, and it's free, obviously, and a bunch of us are going to be playing. And so anyway, so I'd like, so we have some sponsors for our meeting today. We have Chuck Allen Floyd, who is an attorney, and he's really specialized in entertainment, but all law. And later on tonight, I'm going to give a free consultation, Zoom or in person, with him to someone who attends this event. So one of you all will be getting this. We also B Notice PR. She does all of our PR, and she's fantastic if you're an artist and you need PR. Um, she's your girl. Chewy's, who we will be providing dinner for two. We have to get the coupons. I don't have them right now, Amy, but this is a little award to our speaker. And let's see, and Dave Lenihan, she does the Songwriters podcast. And if anybody wants to be on the Songwriter Connection podcast, yay. And then also the Shure microphone, the lovely sound that I have is because of their MV88. So these are all the people who support our organization, and we love them, and they help everything go here. And yes, Amy Scruggs, who is a huge part of our supporting sponsor. So thank you so much, Amy, for coming here and doing this free event for everyone. So Amy, why don't you tell us a little bit about you? How did you become a media coach? And, just introduce yourself to us.
Thank you. I will give you all my Cliff Note version, I promise, because this is important and part of the presentation, because I love to walk you guys through where I've been, how it maneuvered. And the core foundation of everything that I've ever done has been realizing that being comfortable in front of people and effective communication was the game changer. So like all of you, I'm an artist. I'm a musician. I started singing at the age of 3. If you asked me what I was going to be when I grew up, my answer was always Barbara Mandrell. I just thought that that's what was going to happen. Classically trained on the piano and in voice. But life throws you curveballs and you have to go out and work for a living. And I started my career that was paying the bills, feeding children in wholesale mortgage in Southern California. So I was really immersed in the mortgage and real estate world and out there in sales. I did not know the mortgage industry when I stepped into it. I had a wonderful woman who took a chance on me, said, "I believe in you." And being in front of professionals, sitting in that boardroom and realizing I'm comfortable in front of people, I can effectively communicate. It allowed me to accelerate and become number 1 in sales pretty quickly. Fast forward to 2008, we had that major recession and the mortgage industry completely disappeared, and so did my job. Now, I always had my passion for music, loved performing, loved singing. This was who I was. I was in cover bands all around Southern California. I had made my first trip to Nashville in '04 and started some recording processes. So it was always a part of what I was doing, but it hadn't provided a living for me. In '08, I realized I have sales skills and communication skills, and I'm going to go out and ask for the business. And so I went out and started touring with the kids in tow. And I was able to open for Clint Black the first 6 months by asking for the business and putting together the right pitch, the right presentation. And I went on to open for some really great names in country music over those years, and also was the spokesperson for the American Veterans for the state of California. So I toured around doing all military and veteran events, just life-changing work really took place. But we had some tragedies happen. My bass player died suddenly. We did lose our home. There was a lot taking place. And so I decided to step back into the business world, leading sales teams. The mortgage industry started opening up again. So I became business development, moved to San Diego, and started that process of once again starting over in front of people I did not know, perfecting my pitch and getting in front of new professionals. That opportunity opened up for new connections, new awarenesses, and a new opportunity to be a TV host. Where the last 5 years, I sat as a host of the American Dream TV, was on CNBC, Travel Channel, different networks, ABC, CBS, NBC, all around the country. And I started to notice that there was a common thread again of professionals, of entrepreneurs. We interviewed athletes, city leaders, community leaders, politicians, business owners, everyone. And the same thing would happen every time. They were all nervous in front of the camera. They would have their message. They knew they were going to present their 5 minutes on TV, and then they would forget what they were doing, or they would freeze up in front of the camera. And so right there on the spot, I would help them. I go, I got you. I got you. And I would tell them, listen, I've had my big moments. It's my turn to give you yours now. Let's get you there. And I would help them get comfortable within a couple minutes so that we could have the interview and help them put out their best. But it really showed me that the number one thing for most people is public speaking, is being on camera. The number one question, and we're going to go over that in the slides, is that how do I look? And it led to me starting to work with professionals of all different industries and saying, okay, I'm going to start coaching. So still TV hosting, still performing on request. I had beautiful opportunities to do some great shows in the midst of all of this. And then COVID happened. And I watched the entire world go on camera. We're all here together on Zoom. Like, if I could even begin to describe to you some of the epic fails that I was witnessing as COVID unfolded. Oh my God. I actually saw a gentleman, and he was like a professional. He was in the business world. I watched him eat a sandwich off his stomach. And I said, oh my God, it's so disgusting. I was like, people need help. This is just opened up. I mean, it's horrible. We were all shut down. Our industries changed. I wasn't performing anymore. I wasn't in the TV studio anymore. And I said, this is the time that I can level up. I wrote the book, Lights, Camera, Action, Media Coaching for Professionals of All Industries. And I started doing workshops just like this, started putting myself back out there saying, let me just help you virtually. So we're going to go over our virtual presentations here together. And then I had the beautiful opportunity that after all these years, I got a call that I was able to go back to Nashville and record my dream project. So in 2021, I was back there in Nashville. I recorded my EP, and I have new music out there, the book out there. I'm a full-time media coach, and I'm going to get to some of that on how it's relevant in the slides. I'm going to skip over some of my slides when we get started, because I do this presentation in front of corporate meetings. I do large business industry events. I'm headed up to Santa Barbara this weekend to present in front of a large Rotary group. So I do it to all industries, but this industry is my passion. My son's a songwriter. He toured with me as my lead guitar player since he was 17. He's 31 years old now. Music is our family, is our life. One of my private clients right now is actually a boutique record label. I'm actually working on communications, social media visibility, and artist development with a record label right now. So it's really fun for me to work with a label, not as an artist, but as a coach, and allows me to see both sides and where those common threads are, where the need is. And so today I'm going to really kind of feed into what the need is. And people ask me, how do you speak all these languages? I basically never gave up on myself. I took the tools that I did have, even when there was a lot I didn't have, and kept recreating and realizing there's need, that we can all level up. We can all change our visibility. We can all perfect our pitch together and start making a difference. I was in, and I'll get to the point on this now. I was in a meeting early on in COVID where there were going to be a handful of people in this meeting that were going to be presented a huge opportunity. So there was probably 40 people that showed up, but only about 4 of us were going to be able to achieve this opportunity from this presentation. And the person leading it was a very high up, well-known, multi-New York best-selling Times author, all this kind of stuff. He was from the UK. He comes onto the Zoom just like this, just like I'm doing with you. And he looked at all the little boxes and he said, "You all look like rubbish." He goes, "I showed up here today to bring you my best self and my years of experience. And you couldn't even show up and look in the camera. You couldn't even show up and dress better and be professional." He goes, "Forget it. I am going to disregard most of you right here on the first impression." And he did. Sometimes we don't realize what we're representing. You've got to show up. So we're going to go over some of that and what you guys are all doing, what you do to represent yourselves and your music and your passion. This is your business. This is what you do. And if you do something else as well, these tools are going to work for that. So this applies globally. And some of the things we're going to talk about today also probably help your personal relationships. So that's why I'm so passionate about what I do, is helping professionals. I've had my incredible moments on the great stages. I've had beautiful moments of sharing opportunity to some military and veteran experiences with my son standing next to me. I've been an artist, I've been a coach, I've been a business professional, and now I get to do this and one at a time see people level up and present themselves a little bit better and not be that person that's told they're rubbish and miss an opportunity just because of how they presented. So there's my backstory.
Awesome. Well, do you want to go ahead and share your screen and
Yes.
get to going?
Okay. Now I'm going to skip through some of this stuff. Let me make sure that we get this up and going here. Share my sound. Are you all looking at this obnoxious, you can see me right there. Digital communications, full screen.
Got it.
You all got it? Okay, fantastic. We're going to go to this next one. As you all know, I'm going to breeze through some of this, but some of this you just need to know, regardless of whether you're a songwriter just pitching your music, whether you have other businesses, other industries. These are just key points that we have seen happen in the last years. This digital world and being on camera is not going anywhere. And it is the most amazing, incredible space. You perfect this and how you present yourself digitally and in person, the sky is the limit for anything you're about to do. And I'm living proof that I could talk my way into anything. And that's what I did. So global, you can see here just the statistics on this, but I will blow through some of this. Digital marketing forecast, digital ad spending, as we all found each other here virtually, which is beautiful. You went on to Eventbrite, you signed up, we're all here virtually. This is how our world is working now. This was a snip of an interview that I did, and I just thought you guys would get a kick out of this.
What's the number one thing that you help people with in your coaching business?
How to deliver their message. Everybody's got their story, whether they're representing their nonprofit, their business, themselves, their family, a community outreach, a Rotary Club. Somebody's representing something if they're going to be on any kind of podcast, media interview, or creating their cell phone videos because they want people to see it. At that point, we need to create that message and how to deliver that message. And then how to then take those messages and create opportunity for them to be visible. So there's 2 steps to that. But the first part, you can have the greatest business and you want to put it out there and you're putting it all on social media and you're turning on your camera and going, what I'm here today to share is the success of my business. We've got a problem. How many can relate to that? The ums, the yas, the so's. Feel free to unmute and jump in. I want this to be interactive, okay? I do enough presentations where I've got to be big and on stage and it's just eyeballs, but unmute. And if you say, oh my God, I just saw somebody the other day did that, or, oh, I'm guilty of that, just throw yourself in here, okay?
Yeah, and raise your hand and say, so we can find who's talking.
Yes, that helps too. I can't see anything. I got too many screens going on here. I wish we were all in person. Oh my gosh, but we're not. So it's okay.
It's under reaction. So if you want to just jump in and say something,
Yes. Standing out on your digital and virtual platforms, like right now, I'm looking at all of you, right? I can see you. You may not realize that
Yeah.
I'm looking at everything and can see you. If I was making a decision right now, an example, I'm working with a client who is the CEO of 5 huge medical colleges, right? And she said that because I've been working with her for months on her communications and media presence and getting her large PR interviews and things like that. But she said they were interviewing new teachers. They had a staff position. They had 2 interviews that they weeded out, got to the last 2 interviews, and they were of equal level on who was going to be the next teacher coming into this college. Both of them had the same background. Both of them presented well, but one was on camera and animated and comfortable, and the other one kind of just looked down and did her talking points like this and showed that that's how she was going to teach. She did not get the job.
Okay.
Equal.
I
Yes.
want to raise my hand up here for a minute
Yes.
and say that like like the thing that I see the most is, well, you can see me like this,
Yes. Oh,
or
we're going to
you
talk
can
about
see me like this, you know. And the other thing that I want to say is I want to show you something for a minute. This is what my room looks like without these extra lights on.
right.
Okay,
And
just
then we
kidding.
can't see your face.
I have 3 lights.
Yes.
This
And
is
we're
my
going to,
room without those lights on.
yes,
So
yes,
I
yes,
set this
yes.
room up so that you're always going to see a nice glow. So
I love it's so true. We're going to go over that. I've got some fun points and help on that. Standing out is so important. Don't be the rubbish. Okay. If you remember something today, take a look. If we were in this meeting and I was about to point out who am I going to say was rubbish, make sure it's not you. Not saying anyone is. I'm not even looking right now. Not saying anyone is, but
yeah.
just, think about it. Is it me? And if you're questioning, then maybe we've got some room where we can level up. That's all I'm saying. Digital marketing platforms. I don't know if any of you are selling yourself, putting yourself out there. This is a lot for businesses and nonprofits that I work with. But one thing I want to point out on here, the one on here right is podcasting. And I love that Nancy pointed out that there's the podcast. Podcasting is a fantastic way to get yourself out there. I do 3 to 4 podcasts a week on top of running ones for my clients and everything else that I'm doing. It's an incredible way to make yourself known and set yourself apart. And once you learn your pitch and who you are and what sets yourself apart, you have no idea what opportunities could open up for you and your music. Really, really, really fun to do. So keep that in mind. Utilizing any of these, everybody's on all of these platforms. I don't personally TikTok, but I think it's great. I just haven't gone that way. I've got my hands full with the other platforms, but these are a huge part of my business model that we're going to discuss. Media sources, and this a lot stands for if you have other businesses or nonprofits, but local news is always looking for great stories. So even if you're trying to just brand yourself and set yourself apart and you're involved with a nonprofit, invite the local news to come out to what you guys are doing. Start getting yourself more visible. They are looking for media projects. They are always looking for feel-good news stories. So never hesitate. If you've got something you're doing, it's always okay to be told no, but the yeses are awesome. I am constantly bothering the San Diego local news channels and bringing them out to all kinds of stuff. I've got I have friends who have, veterans events and different things going on. I just send out the news channels and it's amazing the opportunities that open up. I want to give you an example of that. This one's really important to me. The guy on the left, Retirement Resource, Bo, he's actually in Atlanta, Georgia. We met once in person, the TV studio years ago. I've been working with him for 2 years, just started his podcast. He's an incredible wealth advisor for retirement. He came to me, we put it together, got him launched with a nice virtual platform. He's so busy now, I can never get him on the phone and I only can talk to his assistant. So we're still revamping the show for the first of the year. I'm helping him with his digital ads behind the scenes, but utilizing these tools was a really great way to do it. Saddles and Service is a nonprofit here in San Diego. They do PTSD treatment and equine treatment for first responders and veterans. I brought KUSI News, our local news here in San Diego, out to them. They were barely keeping the horses fed as a foundation, struggling. Just like any other industry, we struggle. We struggle to make ends meet. And bringing out the news, bringing attention to what they were doing, opened up the opportunity that they got asked to be a part of a documentary. That documentary was hugely successful. The Discovery Channel caught wind of it and asked them if they could cover it. They now have so much support. They also have a ranch in Wyoming and Texas. They have an annual donor of $150,000 a year now that provides to them. And I just emceed their gala 2 weeks ago where they raised over $300,000. And it started with bringing out the local news and drawing attention to what they were doing. This may
Amy,
or may not pertain to you, but it's important.
Amy, who do we talk like what's the position of the person that you call at the TV station?
I go online, I look up the local news station, and there's always contact us, want to share your story? Click here. And there's a contact form. And then once you get that person and you get them to respond the first time, and I'll send it a couple times until I get their attention. If I've got a feel good story and it's something of outreach, I'll blast them with it.
Okay.
And I get a yes. And then now you've got that person, you can reach them again. But most of the local news channels, not national news, that's tougher, but most of the local news channels, they will have a form on there that you can fill out. And they're always looking for feel good stories. Like I got my house on television a few weeks ago because of my Halloween decorations. They're always looking for, because now I'm in with them and they reached out, hey, would you like to feature your house? We're trying to get some more houses to show the Halloween decor. I'm like, yes, I worked hard on it. So once you kind of get in that circle, it's amazing what can happen. And why not use outreach and the good things that you're doing in the community to draw attention? And then they go, oh, isn't that the songwriter? Isn't that so-and-so? Isn't that the musician? Isn't that the nonprofit? It's just a really good way to do things. I don't want to stay on this too long because we have more important things to do, but it is important for you to kind of see the big picture and what I do teach as a whole. What stops us? What stops us most of the time from taking advantage of these digital tools, podcasting, television? It's that. By the way, that's actual footage of me trying to do my hair while my husband's running the shower, just so we're, any ladies, we understand that. Is this how I look? And is this how I sound? Even as an artist, even singing my whole life, you think I like the sound of my voice? No, but I've gotten used to it. I've gotten comfortable with it. Most people are uncomfortable with how their face looks or what they represent, but I don't see anyone in here that came into this meeting with a bag over their head. I don't see anyone walking around the grocery store with bags over their head. We are all in these faces. We're just looking out. The problem is once we're on camera and when we're on virtual meetings all the time, like we are now, you're seeing your face back at you. And it's learning how to get comfortable with it. And I've got some tips for that. Because when you become that person in these meetings or when you're ready to present your pitch and you can look straight in that camera and you can own it, you are going to set yourself apart. You will not be the one that was the rubbish. All right, here's the basics. What is media ready? And this does pertain. Media ready means anytime you're in front of a camera presenting yourself. Anytime, whether it's on your smartphone, whether it's to pitching your music, anything. It's an important meeting. That's media ready now because that's the world we live in. Didn't used to be the case. It is today. Knowing your basic talking points. Know your business. Know your talking points. If it's about your music, what are your key strengths? What is your catalog like? What are the key things that you want to share so that you don't start it with, yeah, so, knowing those key points in your head and practicing them. The next thing, good lighting and audio, as Nancy just pointed out, it's worth it now. There's so many inexpensive things you can invest in. I mean, you can get a cheap ring light on Amazon now for like $20. You can pick up a decent podcasting mic. You can get an inexpensive one. Anything that is not the computer speakers and the computer camera is going to be in your best interest. Those were not designed to be used this way. Okay, so anything that you can do to get that light behind you and to have your audio. I was on a sales call, on a call yesterday for an organization I was considering joining. She wouldn't do a video conference, which fine. She wanted to do audio. The audio was so bad that I could hardly understand her. She did not take the time to do her homework on me and what my business was and what I was looking for. And she lost the sale because she wasn't prepared. She didn't know her talking points and the audio was crap. I will not be joining that organization, and I am that picky now. We're too far advanced into this world to make that mistake. And she made a mistake yesterday. And it was a shame. I felt bad for her, but she wasn't even trying. And backdrop, camera framing, use storytelling if you can. Even when you're pitching your songs, use the storytelling behind it. Be funny in your storytelling, be engaging, get to the point. Here's the example. Have you ever had somebody start a story and you're like, oh no, because you know it's going to be 20 minutes before they get to the point? We all know that person, right? I describe it like this, and I'll break it down really simple. And I did this with a client that I was working with that's an actor that needed to go present. He was doing auditions, and it's that quick introduction. And he tended to be really too long in it. If I was presenting you your birthday cake and you said, Amy, I want a red velvet cake. Great, I will bring it. I walk in with this cake and I go, I present to you flour, sugar, 2 cups of this, some vanilla, some of that. It was in the oven for 35 minutes. It cooled, and then we sliced it with buttercream frosting. No, it's just a cake. I brought you a red velvet cake. We tend to tell the ingredients. Getting to that point, deciding what that message is, can make a huge difference. Storytelling is fun. We can do advanced workshops and learning how to do that better. And it really can set you apart in your meetings. Have your 1 5-minute and your 30-minute message prepared, especially if you're going to do any podcasting. What would you share in those 30 minutes? What makes you pop? What makes you set yourself apart? But also how you introduce yourself in 1 minute and 5 minutes. All right, number 1 tip, if you don't remember anything else I'm working on today, clean the lens. Good God, please start cleaning the lenses on your phone, especially. I do not take a video or a photo without cleaning the lens. Do you see how many blurry pictures and videos there are out there? And you can tell it's just because the lens is dirty. Those of you that aren't using an external camera and you're just using your computer, and every time you open your computer, your thumbprint's on that camera, and now we're on a meeting together, your lens is dirty. It's got fingerprints all over it. Keep a cleaning cloth for your shirt, whatever you need to do. I clean the lens 100 times a day on my camera right here and also on my phone. Instant facelift. I'm telling you, you want to look 10 years younger? Clean the lens. It works. I promise. That is it. If you forget everything else, I want to know everybody from here on forward is going to be cleaning the lens. Prepare your message in advance. Don't go into these pitches. If it's an important meeting, don't go in off the cuff. Know your talking points. I know I said that already before, but it is literally the difference between amateur and professional, is knowing your talking points. All right, we're going to talk about the fun part now, the resting face. You know, I'm looking at all of your resting faces right now. Anybody question what the resting face is, or are we all together? Go ahead and unmute. I don't care. How would you each describe your resting face?
Well, I try to keep smile. I try to keep smiling. And
Nancy's been smiling the whole time. It's true.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I try to keep a smile, but it's not much of a smile. It's more of just like a happy look, but without a smile.
Good self-awareness though, because there is ways to keep the happy face lifted without the smile. Do you know your active listening face says more than when you're speaking? If you guys were pitching me today and I was going to choose, I'm going to look at all of you and say, how are you engaged with me right now? Because I'm looking. Active listening means you are really showing I am here with you. I know that you're looking at my face the whole time. The minute I see this, you guys, how many of us, we catch this in a lot of the meetings, or people looking down, then that's a sign of disinterest. And for those of you, have you ever been in a relationship where the person asks you, why are you mad at me? And you say, I'm not mad. Why do you think I'm mad? Well, you look like you're mad. You probably do look like you're mad. Your resting face is messing up your relationships. It happens. But it's so important that you know what your face is saying. And it also really can be used well, because this is my angry face. My family doesn't know when I'm angry because I know how to hold it together. I can sit through a 30-minute to an hour podcast interview. And again, I do this multiple times a week. I'm on large TV shows, everything. I know my resting face. And thank God I was on the Dr. Phil show a couple weeks ago. Whoo, that was the hot seat. It was a hot topic and it was a hot seat. And thank God I had practiced my resting face, because I never knew which camera was on me. I didn't know what was going on. And I didn't want to be caught with the resting bitch face. Wasn't going to happen on my dime. Anytime you're in these meetings, anytime you're presenting yourself, knowing your resting face. And for me, and I learned this early on as an artist, and I would tell my team, the minute we pulled into that parking lot, you represent me. and I represent our brand, which for a lot of those years represented the American veterans. And I took that very seriously. So I knew my body language, my resting face, my presentation, even when I think no one is looking, because someone's always looking. And it better be cohesive. It better show that I'm a professional, that I'm polished, and I'm there with active listening, with a happy heart, regardless of what's going on in my life personally. And let me tell you, I was touring with kids in tow, four kids on tour with me. Try that. So being aware of how you're presenting yourself is so important, and it can be a game changer. And if things aren't working for you, or you feel like your meetings or your pitches aren't going right, let's go back to the awareness of the face. Understanding your body language, your facial expressions, your mannerisms. I'm going to give you all my first homework assignment. This is the free homework assignment for this. And I actually require my private clients have to do it. And if they don't, I'm not thrilled. For 2 straight weeks, when at all possible, clearly it's not always possible, take every phone call in front of a mirror. Put a mirror on your desk, flip down the visor of your car, stand in front of a mirror in your house with your phone. Start noticing what your face is doing when you're in a conversation with mom, dad, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, dog groomer, mailman. I don't care who it is. Business, non-business. The only way you're going to know what your face does in active listening and in speaking in all emotional situations, happy, sad, mad, confused, annoyed, whatever those things are, you're only going to know it by watching yourself. And I guarantee 2 weeks of studying your face, you will change it. Promise, hands down, you will change your face. And again, your relationships will improve. Try it. Trust me, your future self will thank me. Let's see. I think that was it there.
How about in between songs when we are playing on stage and it's not our turn, it's our
rest? You better be aware of your face, because everybody's still looking at you. Just because you think you're not standing at the microphone, just because you think you're off to the side, people are watching you. I mean, don't you observe everybody? Walk around the store, you're looking at people, you're watching how they stand, how they look, what they're thinking. Like you can tell, oh, that person's having a bad day, or, oh, isn't that a happy person? When I'm watching a show, I'm watching every musician on that stage. I'm watching their body languages, their facial expressions. You want to stand out. Why is this freezing on me? There we go. You want to stand out always. The more you can gain control of what your face is doing 24/7, the better your life will be. And it really is the game changer, again, of becoming a true professional. Create short and compelling videos. Practice your delivery. Practicing your delivery is so important. How are we doing on time here? Okay. How many of you are doing videos? You're creating videos on your cell phone, posting them for social media, just for fun, for marketing, everything. Okay, great. How many of you get to take 7, 8, and 9, and 10, and you're still doing another take? I can't see everyone, so I don't know how many hands are there. What's the most takes you've ever done? Anybody unmute? Any most takes you've ever done?
Maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, I was going to say about 4 myself.
I'm sure
Does
I've
it
done
get-
probably about 15 for me.
Hey, no more of that for you, Nancy. No more.
It's better than it used to be. It's so much better than it used to be. Yeah.
I have to tell you,
if I get the
hosting
song right,
TV
then I'm happy with it.
hosting TV, it never got better. If I missed my cues, or I didn't do that intro by take 3, 4, or 5, I'm not getting any better ever. And so realizing that first time, if we come in knowing what we're about to say, take a moment to take that deep breath first before you turn on that camera. My philosophy is to start doing take 2, toss 1 every time. 2 takes, no more than 2. You've got to choose one and toss the other. If that becomes a new habit of the take 2, toss 1, then you're going to start going, oh, I can do this. I can do this. And here's another way to practice that. And this is another challenge for all of you. How many of you send video messages instead of a text, just for general information to a loved one, business, something? Hey, I'm running late. I'll be right there. You know, hey, can we reschedule that meeting? How many of you send a video message instead of a text?
Well, I do that for my job for on Discover Sooner when people don't know what I have detailed information. And so, but I personally I don't, but for business I do when it's really a tutorial that's needed. But
Sure, sure. For business and personal, start sending video messages. You want to say a great way to get to know how you're representing yourself and only doing the take two, toss one philosophy and send it over. Also, people love it. It is such a personal way to engage, especially if you're making new connections, industry connections, new relationships. For me, even working with my clients, if I need to reschedule something, we're making a quick connection, I send them a video message because I don't ever want them to misconstrue something that I texted to maybe it'll sound harsh or not enough information. Also, birthdays. Everyone gets a birthday video from me. And people really like it. Instead of posting it on social media, I send it to their text so they see it was a personal and not a promotion for myself. There's the times that I put up all my shameless self-promotion. Of course, we're all doing it. I'm also an artist. I'm a business person. I have all my promos, but the video message of the birthday goes privately to that person. So they see, hey, I really care about you. And it's a great way to practice being on camera before you need to be on camera for that next important meeting. Take two, toss one. Virtual meeting tips. We can blow through these pretty quick. Let me see here. The more you can recreate an in-person meeting, the better. I've never been to an in-person meeting where I saw somebody walk in backwards, bend over on the table, sit under the table, sit on top of the table, as I pointed out, eat a sandwich off their belly. What would you do if you walked into a room? You would adjust your shirt, tuck in your shirt, make sure you're polished before you walk in that door. The same thing with a virtual meeting. If you have to get up, turn the camera off. I'm just going to put all these here so we can look at them at the same time. If you have to get up real quick, turn the camera off, turn it on mute, get up, handle what you need to do, then come back and sit down. That way, when we're looking, it's not a distraction to everybody else in there. You're looking right at that camera and you're just giving a better representation of yourself. Also, looking in the camera. How many of you are spending time looking down at the monitor and not into the camera when you're in a meeting? And it's exhausting. Your eyes are going to hurt. But how many of you have a practice of actually looking straight into the camera an entire time?
I recorded once and I realized that sometimes looking down can look like my eyes are completely closed. So
Yes. Yes.
I rarely look in the camera. I might look at the top of the screen, but that green dot just.
But you want to create an eye contact. If it and I understand if it's not your turn to speak, and again, still keeping your resting face happy while you're just a spectator. But when it's your turn, you're going in for your pitch, you're going in for your meeting, you have your moment. Man, I want you looking at that camera, and you've cleaned the lens. You're looking into that camera because that is eye-to-eye contact. Any way that you can recreate an in-person feel, your body language, you're sitting up straight, you're feeling strong. If we were all sitting at a table together, we would be even. You wouldn't have what, like Nancy pointed out, looking up the ceiling, no more nostrils. I don't want the camera looking down. It is so simple. If your computer is down low and you're sitting in your chair, grab the closest Amazon box and put your computer on top of it. Just lift it up. I don't care what you need to do. Get that camera level because that's going to show that perfect square. You're framed well. Find the right background. Don't have the window behind you where you look like a ghost. If you need to just pivot or turn, but you want to be square the same way you would be sitting across the table from someone. If in your little square, you don't look like you're sitting across the table from someone, then you know it's not right. And it's amazing to me how many bad virtual squares I still see this far into us living on Zoom. And an in-person meeting, you would bring your best. A virtual meeting should be no different. No different. And let me tell you, I was one of the 4 that got the opportunity in that meeting. I was not rubbish. I just want to say it works. It works. It works. It works. All right. Smile, stay engaged, look at the camera, frame yourself, light in front of you, sit up straight, posture. There's a lot of my gentlemen, my guy clients that I have to take away the chairs because they love to swivel. Guys will just sit there and swivel and I'm like, ah, okay, that's it. Or they go way down in the arm of the chair like this. This is a common one too. I'm like, nope. So I make them sit on a stool. Don't make me take your chair. I'll do it. I will take your chair away.
I love that. That is great.
I don't have arms on my chair. I sit in this thing 10, 12 hours a day, and I do not have an armrest because most of the time I'm on camera. I'm either virtual coaching, I'm podcasting, I'm interviewing. I've been on this camera for 8 hours already today, and I have nothing to rest my arms off because I have trained my body to stay upright and in position and engaged. And every time it creates opportunities. I will leave it at that. Be professional, clear, and concise. No rambling. No rambling. Who knows a rambler? No more rambling. Again, that goes back to preparing your message and knowing what you're going to do. And there's a lot of work that we could do to help you prepare your message and have you practiced. You're doing the take 2, toss 1. You're learning about yourself. You know your resting face. You're looking in the camera. Your lens is clean. And pretty soon you are a whole new person. I'm doing this not for the shameless plug, but just to point out, as I mentioned to you, I was able to go to Nashville and record. I was so excited to finally get to do a dream project. I mean, I cried through the whole thing because I did not think that opportunity was going to be back for me. I'm going to be 50 years old next week. Okay. As a female recording artist, that ship sailed, right? No, it came back. No, I'm going to break this barrier. And so I was able to record, and my song, What If It All Goes Right? I didn't write it, came from amazing writers just like you guys in Nashville. I had writers pitching me. And let me tell you, in the pitch sessions that I was the artist, that they were pitching me music, I noticed their resting faces. I noticed how they presented. There may have been songs that were great that I didn't choose just because I wasn't feeling that connection virtually. And then I had others that were like, woo, we engaged, we were light, they were pitching the music. And I remember like, just my energy was more connected to them to hear what they were pitching me versus the ones that we weren't connected. I may have missed a beautiful song because they weren't presenting well to me. And I do feel that that is a two-way responsibility for both of us on each side. I was the artist being pitched music. I took the song, What If It All Goes Right, put it out there digitally, put it on AirPlay Direct, and was able to get it out. I charted globally with this song, and it did make the Music Row charts just in August. And I never left this desk. I didn't tour this time. I chose podcasting. I chose doing radio interviews, putting myself out there, and the song charted. And New York Times picked it up for its summer 2022 playlist. And I'm only saying that just to prove that these tools work. And when you use them correctly, they work even better. And there's no reason that all of you could not have those same successes. I haven't left this desk in 3 years. I'm not going to do that. We're not going to play it. Media and communications is important. It's today's digital world. It requires impactful communication in every industry, not just if you're a CEO or a business leader anymore. Every one of you needs to show up with your A game in everything that you're doing because you're all selling something. You wouldn't be here with me today if you weren't selling something. And you're selling yourselves. Your resting face matters. Your energy matters. You've got to bring it in. And I know sometimes on camera, it feels like, oh my God, I feel like a cartoon character. I have clients say that like, I can't go this big with my energy. I just feel so, I said, but it works. And then actually it looks more natural than if you're just subdued. If I was in here with you, just that difference, you notice if I was sitting more slouched and I was presenting to you guys like this, do you feel my energy shift?
Yep.
I brought it in. I wanted every one of you here with me today to feel like you're looking me in the eyes. Like I care so much, especially about our music industry. I was that single mom out there with 4 kids asking for the business, going city to city, doing radio interviews, the morning TV shows, my marketing kit in a yellow envelope. I can't even imagine if I had had these tools when I was trying to do this back in 2007. I can't even imagine if I could have gone live and if I could have used my cell phone. It was still on a flip phone. So now I'm here and I'm in a position that I get to talk about it and share the little success that I just had with this project. But when I was really out there touring in my 30s and had a lot more energy, I wish I had had these tools. I wish somebody had taught me how to do this. I learned the hard way. And I came here with all of you today to say, I'm helping you fast pass. I paid the dummy tax for a lot of these skills. I watched my first interview in Phoenix, Arizona on AZTV morning show, and it is horrifying. First of all, who said I could wear light beige? Why? I disappeared completely. I had way too many ums and yes. Yeah, so I was doing it then too. And I watched that back and I'm horrified today. But what I'm proud of is that over and over, I keep leveling up. Do any of you ever watch your footage back? Anybody been on any podcasts or done interviews of late? Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Those of you that did, how many watched it back or listened to it back?
Absolutely.
How was that for you?
Some of it.
Yeah, I think it's important because you do learn. You kind of see yourself. It's one of those things. I go back to years ago in the music industry. I used to edit audio for radio interviews, and I was given a 27-minute interview from George Strait, and they said just take out the ums and ahs, and it wound up being less than 2 minutes. So from 27 to 2 minutes just by removing the ums and ahs. So I will never forget it.
Yes.
And I'm petrified. That's the reason I don't do this stuff, because I'm scared to do it because I'm going to look like that.
But you can do it. You can practice and you can take them out. Ask a loved one to hold you accountable. Someone, your closest friend, colleague, whatever. How many ums did I just say? I have an counter when I'm working with clients. We have removed the filler words. And we'll be it is fun. Like I'll be just like, oh, how was your week? Yes, we do the pleasantries and we start, whether in person or on Zoom. How was your week? And they start talking and I'm just going like this. Great. Awesome. Okay.
I would like to say about this is that, I mean, like when I first started Discover Sooner, all of a sudden I had to be a marketing person. And I was like, I hate this. I don't want to do this. No, I don't want to be on any videos, but it was like incredibly important to do this. And, you know, it's been a couple of years now and all of this has become better and easier. I can rattle off my sentence about what we do pretty fast without too many ums. But I just think this is one of those things for me underneath it all. I'm just scared. I'm scared to talk in front of people. I'm still somewhat,
Everyone is.
right? Like I'm still a very young person underneath it. So preparation and doing it in front of people, just like we play our guitars in front of people. We don't usually when we're singing our song.
No,
So
we don't start our lyrics with I don't think anybody here writes lyrics starting with yeah, so, but. We don't type texts or write emails that say yeah, so, like, but.
Right. So it's just taken a lot of practice and it's been wonderful. And now it's like, oh, I'm a moderator at a panel. Oh, you need you need a video, you need a 15-second video. I'm on it, but that's like, I've had lots of opportunity. Every single chance is in front of people has been an opportunity. And it's given me all the practice. And I think if you don't naturally have that, then just practice with yourself. And I practice with myself in front of a video 15 to 30 times, but it got
You're going to do
easy.
2 from now on.
That's
Take
right.
2, toss 1. And Nancy, you said such an important word is the opportunities. Had you not taken the bold step to start doing this more, you would have missed opportunities.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart. I'll share a funny story with you. When I was hosting television, and this happened probably about 4 years ago, there were 2 gentlemen that were business partners coming on to be on this national show. And we didn't even have Zoom then, we were Skyping, right? When I was sitting in the studio, I could see and hear them before they ever knew that I could see and hear them. So I can watch them getting set up and mic'd up and bantering with each other, but they don't know I'm watching them through this monitor. And they were lively, they were funny, they were engaging, and they were complimenting each other. Like, I'm not making this up. The guy looks at the other and he goes, oh, you're looking sexy today. He's like, yeah, you're looking sexy too. And they were talking about how sexy they were about to do this show. And then they said, Amy, are you ready to be patched through? They patched me through to them. And I kid you not, those 2 sexy, lively individuals went like this. And I was pulling teeth to get that interview out of them. I don't even remember what their business was because it got lost. They couldn't answer a question to save their life. And all I wanted to say was, where did sexy go? Bring sexy back. You promised me sexy. Where did you go? And but I see great professionals of all industries missing opportunities because they don't take the time to be ready for this. And everyone here in this meeting is trying to create more opportunities, trying to be that one that gets that next opportunity, trying to level up the opportunities to get bigger and better. And you've got to do your work to become bigger and better. And let me tell you, this is the most effective and precise way to do it. I had an opportunity to interview Coach John Robinson. He actually did an excerpt in my book, Lights, Camera, Action. And Coach John was the championship coach for USC, the Los Angeles Rams, and actually took the LSU to their state championship as the head coach advisor just in 2019. Legendary football coach. And I said, Coach, can I ask you why the players watch the tape? And he said, Amy, now mind you, he's 83 years old now. He goes, Amy, they learn the game from the tape. They learn the plays from the tape, and they're not allowed on the field until they learn everything from the tape, because watching the tape creates champions. And we all want to be a champion in our business, in what we do. As songwriters, you want to be the champion. As professionals, you want to be that champion. Watching the tape creates champions. Coach John doesn't lie about that. He has created numerous huge championship teams. And it's so true. And that's what I'm here to bring to the world. And it's so fun now that I get to coach a record label and all the artists. It's a blast to be on the backside of that. I coach a CEO of a manufacturing company. I coach an attorney, medical school, college, of all these industries. And I see the common threads are the same. So what I brought to you today is no different than what all of them are learning and facing and creating and growing in as well. And the one common thread is the yeah, but, so, and the rambling, and getting comfortable with this beautiful thing called your face. And if you don't like it and you don't like how you look and how you sound, then it's time we start making adjustments to fix it. Because you'll find when you smile more and when you know your resting face, you're actually going to like yourself a lot more. And so will everybody else looking at you.
Does anybody have any questions or any comments that you
Q&A
want to
time.
make? Yeah.
Was this
I
helpful?
wanted. Oh yeah, I wanted to find what was your book again? I didn't get that full
Lights,
title of your
Camera,
book.
Action.
Thank you.
Yes, just put Amy Scruggs in Amazon. It's on Barnes and Noble, Amazon, the other retailers, but just Lights, Camera, Action, media coaching for any professional. And I had some really good celebrities and top influencers contribute to the book.
You know, Amy, I just want to comment on this whole idea of contacting the TV stations, the local TV stations. I mean, that's kind of brilliant. You know, publicity is free. And it made me think of, you know, like all of us every one of us, whether we be songwriters or artists, especially artists usually do this. They pick out a charity that they're involved with.
Yes.
But every single songwriter can pick out a charity that they're involved with, write a song about that charity for something that's uplifting for that charity, run a campaign for that charity, find your own kind of slant story within it, and then contact the local TV show. They're looking for great feel-good stories, right?
Always.
And you just open this up for me to, you know, I keep thinking, I'll get there. But now, because you said
Time
this,
is now.
the time is now. I'm going to get there, right? I mean, we see it all the time. There's
It works.
Yeah, people working with veterans and stuff like that. And I have a few, and Miranda Lambert's doing her doggy or Mutt Nation. I'm thinking, you know, I'm gonna make Discover Sooner something, because I know it's in my heart to do it. It's just, you know, kind of like we're all so busy. I don't think we think about these things. So maybe now, because of you, we'll think about it and we'll figure out what.
I hope so.
You know,
I hope I put a little seed in there to say, wow, even if you take the time to get yourself on a couple more podcasts, putting yourself out there more, anything that's going to create that visibility in your branding And it also grows your confidence at the same time. My marketing is a part of my weekly plan. It's like, how many interviews do I have this week? I'm running a full coaching business. And at the same time, I'm always working on my own marketing. And what's fun about those is if you do a quick TV blurb, guess what? You have that footage. It's part of your marketing. You use it for your social media. You put it on your website. It's part of your marketing. You have sizzle clips. You have content for days when you do these kind of interviews. I pull so much content out of my podcasting. It's amazing.
One time early on, we used to do this event called Priceless Answers from Publishers, and the Memphis Channel 3 contacted us through PR, through Bev Mosser's PR.
Mhm.
And we had, they asked if, one of our publishers could talk online. Honest to God, we had maybe 20 people signed up for our event. After that thing aired and I put it on our website, we had 80 people signed up for it just
Wow.
because the Channel 3 got it from Memphis. And I'm like, we need
Yes.
more. So it's just as simple as contacting people. Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Right?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear if anybody has a takeaway today or, a question or something that, all right, that resonated with you.
Yeah, I
Just
think it all
jump on
resonates.
in.
Yeah, but I kind of, as I'm thinking this over, I'm thinking, at what point, how far do you hold yourself back until you start? I mean, you can't wait till you're perfect. I think sometimes you can't even wait till you're good. You just have to get out there and
Do it.
do it until.
And it gets better each time.
And
Because you
easier.
don't know who's watching. It gets easier, and why not? And make it something relevant. Have it be something that's important. Maybe you're out somewhere and you want to just shine light on a local business. All right, you're a songwriter and you go sit at the same coffee shop every week to start writing your songs. Why not turn on the camera and thank that manager or that waitress at the coffee shop for serving you? And local business shout out. I always write my songs here at this such and such cafe or this place. What a great opportunity for you to shine a light on someone else while you're also creating your own visibility.
Oh, that's an awesome idea.
I think that's
Hey,
brilliant.
Yeah, J4, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I really liked your comment on watching the tape because I've been on a few programs, especially recently, where I did about 2 podcasts and a news interview, but I haven't watched them back. And I think I'm a little too timid to. And they're great opportunities that I had up in Buffalo, my hometown, when you mentioned local news,
Yes.
but I haven't watched them back. And so when I do watch them back, what should I be looking for? What, if you were the NFL coach saying to me, like, what should I watch as a football player? What would you say to an artist who's looking at their tape? What should we watch for? What are the things that you would want us to look for in those clips?
I always start by watching it with a different set of eyes of, would I listen to me? Would that statement have resonated with me? Would I have swiped and not finished watching the whole thing? Did I ramble? Would I watch it? Because we all know what we're swiping and watching, what gets our attention and what doesn't. Watch it outside of yourself and say, would I watch that? Would that have interested in me? And you might have points like, wow, okay, that was really interesting. I'm glad I said that. I'm really glad I shared that statement. Then keep that. And the other things like, ooh, wow, that didn't make sense. Oh, yeah, my resting face was scowling. Wow, what a great opportunity to correct it. Watch it outside of yourself. Would you watch you? Honest evaluation. That's the time to do it.
Great. Hey, William, what's your question?
Well, I really enjoyed what you said about resting face. We have a lot of listening sessions through Discover Sooner. So even though most people are probably watching the lyrics, I like to blow up the gallery as large as I can and see who's actually engaged with the song. And having that resting face. Yes.
Good observation. And people don't realize every moment you're being watched.
Well, and I mean, just on the topic of Zoom, what comes up for me is that it is so critical for me to see the faces of the people that are doing this. And then, I mean, because it makes such a huge difference. Like Bobby Curley right now, we could see a nice picture of you, but it'd be so much better. And we don't care if, like how much what you look like, if, like you're just all ratty from work and stuff like that sometimes, but just getting a little bit of, eye contact with you through this thing, it makes a big difference. And
It does.
the other thing is like, here is my picture when I'm not on. Well, at least I'm happy, right?
Yes.
Happy. I got big old balloons in the back. And so that it can make a difference as compared to just having your name in black and white. I almost at times feel like I'm speaking to no one when, half the people are just kind of blanked out. So even just putting a happy face, a happy picture of yourself there goes a long way to making other people feel invited and, about you.
Yes.
Right. So, yeah.
So true.
Hey,
Anyone else? Takeaways, questions?
Tracy, what's on your mind?
Yes, I was just going to say that I really like the idea of making short little videos and just using those in multiple ways. I love the idea of going into a coffee shop to write and then like giving a shout out to that coffee shop or the people bringing you your coffee or whatever it is. I love that idea of just using those organic things that we're doing
Yes.
as ways to kind of pour some fuel on our marketing.
Right. And they love it. They want the shout out to their
Yeah.
business. The servers love being appreciated. It's a great opportunity. Thank
And
you.
they'll share it,
Yes, they'll
share it.
share it.
Yeah, right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, I have been kind of writing down these notes that you have been homework assignments, but this is great stuff, Amy.
It's fun, isn't it? My brain goes like this all the time. I think outside the box all the time like that. Like, oh, let's try this.
Well, it's you're teaching me how to make this social media less, more natural, less
Yes.
planned. Nobody likes planning. Stop
No.
planning, just start loving life and sharing that love that you have. I mean, like, what do you care about what I ate for breakfast? Not
Right.
so much, but maybe, going out, there's so many times a week I'm out there meeting with people doing something. And that is so, it's, how you love your life. You're doing the things that you love to do. And that's a beautiful way to invite people in. And I never
Right.
really thought of it that way before.
I have another idea for some of you, and you've probably already seen this with others, but there's a gentleman here in Southern California that's just very dear. He's an incredible musician. He was an award-winning songwriter, wrote a lot of hits over the years. He's older now and plays for me once in a while up in Orange County when I need him. But he does 2 Song Tuesday. Every Tuesday, he turns on his camera and he plays 2 songs on his guitar on social media. And his headline says, "For those of you that asked," and he links his PayPal and his Zelle. And and people get excited for 2 Song Tuesday. And sure enough, he gets people that give to him every week as a songwriter to thank him for his contributions to the music.
Oh my
He's comfortable on
gosh.
camera and he does 2 Song Tuesday. And I pass this on to the artists that I work with on the label, and they've started doing it now. And it's really fun to see the success that they're having. Sometimes you can just do a verse and a chorus of something and people will love it and share it. And so many people understand what it takes for musicians. We have to make money too. So for those of you that have asked, here's my PayPal link.
Song Tuesday. Oh, that is so amazing. That is not, it's like not trying, it's just trying hard enough, but not trying too hard that it looks like.
Yep.
I love that. Well, it's like 6:05, and so I just have a few more minutes. Anybody else have any other questions?
Was this a value? Did everybody at least take something?
Yeah. Okay. So, one thing, I've already done this. Chuck Allen Floyd gives away a free hour consultation, and I put everybody's name in a list. And the person who's won that is William Nesmith. So Chuck is as a lawyer. He's an entertainment lawyer,
Nice.
and I'll send you his email. and you can just set up, he'll Zoom with you. You could just get to know him, or if you have any legal questions, you can do that. So that's one thing. William, congratulations. I'm really happy for you. Many of us have been recipients. Come again. Okay. And I want to tell you, Amy and I want to, like Amy costs $1,500 an hour. So like none of us have $1,500 an hour, but we might, as a group, we might have a really, and we might be able to afford her if we came in as a group. Let's put it that way. I am like rambling on. So
She got the ramble.
I am totally rambling. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to offer a 1 hour on November 29th. We're going to do this in a group. And for everybody who's coming today, you're getting a 20% discount. It's not up on Eventbrite yet, but I will send you an email. And if you want to come to this thing, each one of us, she will help us pitch ourselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
we're going to perfect your pitch.
And you can glean things from other people, and you can learn for yourself, because each person will get a chance to pitch themselves.
And we're going to rewrite it right there.
Right. You're going to talk to publishers, right? We put you in front of publishers a lot in our publisher writer experience. So, and if you were going to meet a publisher, what would you say, right? Or a record label executive. We need to get your 30-second elevator pitch together for who you are, what you do, and what your music is all about. 30 seconds. So I'll be sending you a link to that. If you choose to do it, we'd love to have you. And this is as affordable as we can make it for Amy's time, and we'll do it in a group. And so I'll be sending that to you along with the promo code for a discount on that. So look for the email, probably Monday, no, probably Tuesday.
I'd love to have all of you there. It's going to be completely affordable, and it would be really amazing to do that kind of intense work. You won't hear my pitch again. You've already heard it. We're just going to get right to business and get you set up and ready for success as quickly as possible.
That's right. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on my pitch for the TV, for the local TV show.
Yes.
And then you can fix me, girl.
I'd be happy to.
Okay.
Start with the yeah, so counter. Figure out how many times a day you say, yeah, so.
I love that. That is so amazing. Anybody have anything else real quick? We good?
I am so grateful that you all came today. I mean, that really means a lot. You never know. I didn't know if it was just going to be me and Nancy, and we would have had a ball anyways. But the fact that each of you took time out of your schedules, your life, and trusted me with this hour that you blessed me with, it really means a lot. It helps me hone in my craft as well. And I appreciate any takeaways. If you guys email and just say, hey, I didn't like this, that's okay too. I'm thick-skinned, but I really loved having each one of you. Thank you for your feedback and for the things that you did as a takeaway. And please, all of you, follow me on social media. If you put in Amy Scruggs, because of the last name Scruggs, I had to be a country artist, clearly. But it's easy to find me. You can find me on all social media handles, just Amy Scruggs Media. Direct message me. I answer my messages. Find me, follow me, and let's stay in touch, okay?
Thank you so much. Thanks, Nancy. Thanks, Amy.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Happy.
Thank you both.
The happy Thursday. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, Amy.
So much.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Bye.